Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm William Haas, and let's queer up business. Instagram blocks #queer, #gay, #lesbian to teens. Instagram has come under fire for blocking LGBTQ hashtags, including #gay, #lesbian, #queer, and #bisexual from teen accounts. Meta, Instagram's parent company, claims the issue was caused by a coding mistake. However, critics argue it reflects deep systematic bias. The block prevents teens from accessing supportive LGBTQ content, including advice and role models, something crucial for navigating identity. Advocates question whether this is an error or a preventive policy aligned with conservative political shifts. This news, along with the recent controversy where Meta announced new hate speech policies, is adding fuel to the sentiment against the social media giant. The new hate speech policies has allowed derogatory comments about women and LGBTQ individuals across Facebook and Instagram. The new policies also affect business community being able to talk about Meta users. Sponsored ads at Facebook and IG have completely been removed. Keywords embracing the LGBTQ, Black, and other marginalized communities. For example, you could have a sponsor message in Facebook that would show ads for users that like other LGBT programs, like RuPaul's Drag Race. All those associations have been removed. Activists report that the hashtag blocks have continued after the coding mistakes. The statement as Meta grapples with backlash. Many in the LGBT community view these changes as a step backwards in creating safe, inclusive space for young people online. The use of hashtags that reflect identity, gender, and orientation will likely continue to be managed by Meta platforms. It's a shame, when we just talked about this a few weeks ago, how they're doing this in Australia, and it's really going to hurt these kids, and it's going to make things worse than better. You're not really protecting your kids. You're letting them out there so they go to other avenues to go and find what they need to find, and there's not as much fact base. Yeah. So I'm ashamed that this is happening. It's sad. Yeah. And it's part of all the changes of what's going on in the government, and we have to figure out a way to go up against this and how we can make this change.
Yeah, and like you said, the kids are going to find it somewhere else. I understand, and they sell it to us like we're just trying to save the teens. We're just trying to save the children. You know, there are queer, there are lesbian, there are gay youth. Right. They exist, and this hashtag represents them.
Right. And we also spoke about, social freedom, social media freedom just a little while ago. Yeah. And we're doing just the opposite.
Yeah, but you know that Zuckerberg and Elon were there playing footsies today at the inauguration. I mean, come on, they all paid $1 million to the inauguration just to be there.
I know. Well, it is sad that Zuckerberg, with his tacky Tony Homepern, doesn't realize that Musk and Bezos laugh at him and call him names behind his back. He's like the sad loser that everybody was kicking around in school, and he's still that, but he's got zillions of dollars.
Yeah, he looks like Carrot Top.
Tragic, very tragic. Yeah.
Tragically, and this is what we're going to be a part of. Like Will said, okay, Donald Trump is basically just going to make one social media, and none of it's going to include us.
Right.
I mean, they're all aligning. That's what you're seeing across a lot of these platforms. I mean, TikTok. You're seeing that from them as well. So, I'm not surprised, to be quite honest. The new government is here, and so they're just going to obey whatever it is that they're throwing at you. So it's unfortunate, yes, but hopefully, in 4 years we can rectify all of that.
Yeah.
And that, we've reported on, like the Trevor Project, they've done so much work with our youth. And, with suicide rates and within our LGBTQ youth, and removing this, it doesn't allow them to do the research that they kind of want to do before they can talk to somebody. So we've got to find other ways to help them.
I just got goosebumps because the Trevor Project comes out with that report every single year. And every single year the percentage goes up and up of the percentage of kids who have even thought about killing themselves. Okay, that is such a drastic move, and it's like it's how dark you must feel to think about just offing yourself.
It's so important to have these hashtags because it's allowing teens to actually click and find a community that also follows this particular hashtag too. So when you take those tools away from them, then they can't relate to people that they are their own peers. So it's doing a very big disservice.
But then it becomes sort of up to Trevor Project and other organizations to find a way to reach them if they can't be reached on social media.
Yeah.
If you think about it, when we grew up, I mean, I was gay. It's like I felt isolated. I didn't have a hashtag or anything else, social media, So we're creating that atmosphere again where you're isolated, you're alone, you get depressed, and suicidal,
Yeah, or you stay in the closet.
Yeah.
Or you're just depressed for the rest of your life, and you're that sour
afraid.
person. You know that sour neighbor that you
Yep.
have that just gets pissed off over everything? He or she might be in the closet, all right? And they've been that way for a very long time. And this is what we're going back to, bro. We're literally going decades back.
True.
That is what you're telling me.
Yes.
Because I'm like, well, yeah, we didn't have social media back then, and they still had to reach the queer kids. And it's just, we're more aware now. We'll figure out different ways to reach the kids. Trevor Project will figure it out for sure. That is the big LGBTQ story for today, and there is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.